The top of West Michigan, the new B1039 is WPZX Big Rapids.
I love this music. I love it.
What's going down?
80s and more. B1039.
Morning sun lights the day, Pat and Brian on the way. Stories of a small town life. Sports and joy cut like a knife. Hot stove leading for chat. High school dreams and college stats. Wednesday morning tales unfold. Memories and news retold. Tune in B1039. Currie's voice in life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively bluegrass, hearts alive.
Play it again, Bob. I like that. I like that introduction. You know, playing that sheriff beside on his side. I like that. You know, I know one thing about Brian Miller. If he likes you, man, he's your best friend. But if you're not so desirable guy, you're in trouble, right, Brian? Good morning.
People get their own selves in trouble.
Mm-hmm. You know, Brian, I've said for years, well, you're a undesirable person to come to Big Rapids and being a head coach that we have today, Mike Seltzer, you know, man, you've had some great years in the last few years anyway, and you build your program up to where you want it. I commend you for that. Congrats. Practices, and I thought, my God, the high school doesn't practice this hard. But I looked at the coach. I didn't know Nate at the time, and I said to my son Adam afterwards, I said, you know, that guy knows the game real well. And I said, these kids are going to be really good someday because they are really being taught the fundamentals, but more importantly, they're being taught discipline, and they're being taught what it takes to be a winner, and that is build that lung up and build those legs up. He ran those guys, and if they made a mistake, you know, they all ran as a team. You worked it as a unit. So then as the year went by, I went to a few more practices, and I was fortunate enough to make some of the games. They played some bigger teams, but man, they beat them. And I thought this one team down in, I think it was, Central Montcalm maybe, or some team down there anyway, someplace I should say. They played a real strong team. And it looked like they were finally going to get beat. Now, I don't know what their overall record was, and that's not really important. It's what they put into it. As the game went on, this confident team came out with the confidence. Our team came out with a little confidence, too. And I thought, back in the day, if you were little and you went up against the Goliath, you were doomed, right, Brian? I mean, most of the time. But these little guys went out there and scrapped. Even little Owen, he's second, third grade. I don't know what grade he's in now, but I think he was in second grade.
He was in second grade, yeah.
Yeah, you had a couple second. Your boy was in third grade, yeah. Third grade. And anyway, they came out and won the game. The other team was devastated. The parents were thinking, what are we doing here? You know, these guys are half our size. But the shooting was good. They had a lot of speed. Your guys never got touched. These little second, third, fourth grade, I think it was 3 grades, right?
Yeah.
You had a great year, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it had a lot of fun. And you stuck one thing in those kids, and that was pride. And that's what I'm leading up to, Big Rapids. I said, you know, you ought to go to Big Rapids high school football game. So we started going, and he was pretty impressed, too. Mm-hmm. You guys, your coaching and your athletes on the field and the way they presented themselves, handled themselves. But that being said, I've said enough. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah,
yep.
No, you're the track coach here at Big Rapids,
yep.
too, for people that don't know you very well. Last week we had your, adversary, would you call him? No, I guess you'd call him his competition from Reed City.
Yeah, we had Scott on last week.
Scott.
Yep, Scott.
Yeah. So, they did a nice job for us, told us about the Coyotes, what they look forward to, playing their tough schedule that they do year in and year out. We'll start there, Scott, or Mike.
That's our tone for our season. And, they've been a playoff team and made some runs, but I think last year they met up with Niles in week 10, who went on to to win, and so they're playing tough competition, and it's we have them on the schedule because they're a T team, which helps us prepare for Reed City.
Yeah.
And so it's Dennis Stry there has been there a long time, does a good job. He's a former ladder but Dennis does a great job down at Paw Paw. His kids love him. He coaches hard, and they're very disciplined. They run more of a power tee, and that's good for us to face right away. It kind of sets that tone, and it's kind of that same principle why we had Coopersville on the schedule a few years ago. Week 1 is your weaknesses get shown to you right away, and it gives you something to work on. Kind of that that Sabre or that Izzo mentality early in the year. Face some tough guys and figure out what you got to work on.
So then week 2?
Week 2 is Fruitport. Now they were a little bit down. I don't know. I hadn't checked up, but it was he had a health issue that opened up with a couple of good teams, and then we get into conference play with Newaygo, and then I think it's I can't think if it's Grant or if it's it's not Tri-County, but I know
it's okay.
They have quite a few kids returning off of last year's team, so they should be solid as well. And they made a run in the playoffs, so our first 5 games are tough for consistency and to build things when you turn over coaches and get new philosophies and new coaching styles, and and I think that's one of the great things for our program is we've had the same basic coaches for 11 years. Nate's been with me since day one when I came up in 2015. Dave McCall's been with us. He took a little time off to get his doctorate, but Scott Pettigo's, pretty much everybody's been with him. Ken and Gus Rangella are helping out on the offense. And we got a couple of, we brought Philip Wilbur on staff, and
great.
he's a
love
graduate. And
I love that kid.
I tell you what, for a young coach, he's doing an amazing job. He's very natural to it, and does outstanding with our group of guys. So 4 years, they will have had Pat as their O-line coach for 4 years, and it allows a lot of continuity.
Kurt Dubowski helping you?
Kurt is doing our running backs and our special teams coordinator.
Still going, huh?
Yep, Kurt's still doing a great job for us. He does a great job of relating with the kids and getting those guys motivated, and it's nice for our staff. We have a nice size staff because each coach has a smaller group that they get to really focus on and get details. So
Boy, now when you're
just that linebacker, and if you're talking D-line, you got a nose and you got a tackle or an end, and sometimes a walk down outside backer. So with the larger staff, we really get to specialize and dive into the details of each technique.
Yeah.
Nate, you played Ferris, right?
I did.
You played at Ferris.
Yes, I did.
So when you played at Ferris, man, you were at a higher level, obviously, than high school. Relate them together, if you could, a little bit mentality-wise. You have to have a little more patience for the students at the high school level than you do college?
Absolutely. You got to remember, these guys are teenagers, are very young teenagers, right? They're growing. So our job really is to try to help mold the man, right? So it's a lot of motivation. It's a lot of, like, you attack your manhood. You got to be on top of everything. You can't mess around. Whereas in high school,
The basketball court, and I'm sure this goes on to the football field, that you don't get stressed out. You don't get too excited about getting down. When you were in the basketball games with these little kids, I go back to that, and I smile because I don't know if you realize how many smiles you gave me this last winter. And when you get older, smiling is the best gift a person can give another person. I don't care who you are. You're lying if you say it's not true. Laughter and smile,
Yes.
That's game. I mean, is there any correlation between the little guys and the high school students, or is it about the same?
yeah, there's correlation. I mean, they're all kids at the end of the day. You got to understand. You got to meet the kids where they are. If you're dealing with 3rd and 4th graders, you got to understand 3rd and 4th graders and how they act and how you can address them, right? And if you're dealing with high schoolers, it's the same thing. However, they're still kids, and you can use some of the same tactics with both levels as long as you're applying it at the right moment.
Who gave you that gift to do that, you think, Nate?
God.
Is it? Yeah.
Things through those experiences. So it's helped me with the kids today.
Yeah, I talk too much, but I tell you what, I've watched a lot of coaches go through the Big Rapids High School and through the grade school and through St. Mary's and this and that. We've had some great ones, believe me. But you are gifted, and I just really appreciate that gift brought
Thank you.
to Big Rapids. Mike, going back to you a little bit. We talked about your coaches and stuff, but how many years you been doing it now, Mike?
This, I think, is 30 or 30-year coach there. Did an incredible job with Wayland's beer coach there. Did an incredible job with Wayland's basketball, and that's really what they're known for. The other thing they're known for is women's softball. They have an amazing women's softball program with Coach Ritz, and her staff and family have been there since I was a kid, since my parents were there. And long story short, I got started coaching at a young age and got to have some amazing mentors growing up and learning through the years. So I've been at Big Rapids. I think this is my 11th season.
Yeah. What brought you here again?
My wife and I were looking for a school that we could teach together, at least in the same district, not necessarily the same school. We had been commuting in opposite directions for 10 years. And it was just time that, we had young kids, and it was time to focus on family and get to a community that we could do that. And, we were blessed to find Big Rapids.
Now, Big Rapids was looking for a head coach at the time.
Yep.
So you applied for the coaching
Yep.
job, then you got the teaching job on besides that. Yeah.
Yep.
How about you, Nate? What drew you to Big Rapids? I know you went to Ferris. You've been here since, right?
Yeah, that was it. I was leaving high school. I was like, I'm going to Ferris to play football. That was just my mindset. That was something I wanted to do, and I went through my years here at Ferris, and I met my wife in class, actually, my senior year, and we started dating, and it turned into a family, and we stayed here. Yeah, love the community.
Yeah, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good spot to raise a family, and it's like Coach was saying, it's about family. The community is about family. We have a ton of good families in this community. We have a lot of support in this community, and that's what you're looking for when you're in these type of roles. Love and support, because those things help carry you through a lot of things.
Yeah, you answered my question. I was going to ask you what you thought of Big Rapids as a whole community to live here, but just for a couple seconds here, I want to congratulate you on your family right now. We won't talk all hour about the girls, but you have twins?
I have, nope, they're not twins. They're 17 months apart. So I have one that's 16 and one that's getting ready to turn 15.
Pretty extraordinary athletes.
They work hard, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
What sports are they in? They're not in football.
No, right now it's volleyball season for them.
Oh, yeah.
And then a basketball will come, and then there will be soccer season. And my one daughter, she does soccer and track at the same time.
That's what I was track. That she pretty excelled in track, right?
Yeah, she did a good job. Coach Selzer here, he was part of her coaching staff. Yeah, and he helped her out a lot.
Some records, huh?
Excuse me. Yeah, she broke a long-standing record in the 400. So she was 58. 05, I think it was a 58:05, which is that's a fast 400.
Sarah Montgomery had that, I believe.
Yep, that was Sarah's record from like 92, I think.
Yeah, she was on the radio here with us a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago, and yeah, she was talking about your daughter there, and she was so happy for her.
Yeah, she's been awesome about it. Sarah, she's reached out to my daughter. She's reached out to my family. Prior to even breaking the record, she felt it was coming, so she was offering some guidance, some support, I'm not mad, right? Because sometimes when you break someone's record, they feel a certain way about it. No, she was encouraging. She knew it was going to happen, according to her, right? I see it coming, so she was supporting the whole situation. Afterwards, she was very happy for my daughter. Sarah's been great through the whole thing.
Yeah. You're in pretty good shape, Nate. Anybody out there that doesn't know Nate Fricky here, he looks like he works out. He's probably got about 2% body fat on him. That being said,
at one time, maybe.
Have you ever challenged your daughter? I'm sure you have. Have you two raced against each other?
No,
not in a 400.
Not in a 400.
Okay.
No chance. No. I haven't raced her since she's been in high school. To be honest, again, God has blessed me physically. I look fine, but I haven't done much work. So if I was to race her in a 400, I might pull both hammies.
Okay. All right. Well,
Brian,
I got to make a correction.
Yeah, go ahead.
My wife, who is really the track coach, her assistant, she texted me and she said I was wrong. It's not a 58:05. Nalea ran a 56.5. So even
Wow.
you know, 2 seconds faster
she's
than
got 2
we
more
thought.
years yet.
And she's got two more track seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's to put it in perspective. That's really fast 400.
Mike, do you do anything else besides sports?
Yeah, I think my number one job is to be a dad and a husband.
no, I know that.
But my hobbies, yeah, I outdoors. Spending time on the river is probably my
Oh, is it?
favorite
good.
pastime. Going down the Pure Marquette, steelhead, salmon, brown trout fishing.
Oh, you like to fish?
Yep.
You hunt?
I do. I'm not a very good hunter.
When the hell do you find time?
It's
Your track season,
when I say
how long?
yeah, when we do this, we get one day every few weekends that we get to go out, and we make it a priority to get down. And the great thing about the river for me, it's kind of my reset. It's like going out to your deer blind and just sitting. I could care less if I catch or shoot anything.
Right.
It's being outdoors. It's hearing the sounds and watching that scenery. And I'm a water person. I grew up on a lake, and our first house before we moved here was on a lake. And so water is kind of my reset. So I love going down the river with my family. And like I said, I don't care if we catch anything. It's just my it's my happy place. And so that I try to do that every few weekends and get a day where we're there, and no phones because there's not good cell phone service. And so you get to connect as a family.
It's even better that way.
Yeah.
Well, but your whole life has been coaching and playing.
It has. I was fortunate to have really good mentors, and when we talk about what athletics does and what specifically football does, we talk about kind of shaping young men into productive men. I was that kid who, like I said, I didn't take grades serious. Football was my reason for being in school. Then it was swimming was my reason. Then it was track was my reason to be at school. That was, and I got okay grades because I knew I needed that. And so, for us, it's a priority to make those connections with kids and build and demonstrate. You bring up like how Nate coaches, but you should see him as a dad, and you should see all of our coaches. We're about building young men before we are about football. And one thing that a lot of people outside our program would not understand, but how many times we say "I love you" to our players and to each other. It's when we meet up for the first time. After a couple of weeks, when Nate and I meet, the first thing is a hug, and it's "I love you, man." And we show that with our players, and we want our players to know those are great relationships to build with other people who are in support of you. And so I think we do a really good job of fostering a culture of support for each other.
And that was kind of the route I was going to go, because what these two are talking about, it's no fluff. There's the reason they've had this success, and they've built the program, and honestly, the program's been built the last 10 years to the point where it is where it is now. In the last 3-4 years, they've had the consistent success they've had is because of Mike, the staff that he has. The kids buy into what they do, and the reason the kids buy in is because they know that everything they're seeing is real. Kids can see BS when they see it, and they don't get that for them, and so they're going to buy in, and they're going to go through a wall for these guys, and that's why the teams had success they have.
And that doesn't mean we don't have hard conversations with kids.
Right.
There's some times where you got to put the hammer down, but I think our guiding thing is I would never ask your kid to do something that I wouldn't ask my kid to do.
But that's why they respect you
Yep.
too. I mean, there's love there, but there's tough love.
Yep.
And in today's society, there's got to be some tough love, or
Yep.
else you're just entitling or enabling young people, and that's the last thing they need, because life's gonna hit them in the face here real quick in the next couple years.
That's a big thing that we talk a lot about. Our number one job is to teach you life skills, and football's the avenue we use to do that.
So let's see. Last 2 years, I think 2 years ago you guys were 10-2, 9-2.
Yep.
We've kind of talked a little bit about this year and with the point system, I think that's part of the reason you kind of play Paw, Fruitport is, kind of, they're tough teams. They're getting you ready for the season ahead. But in today's Michigan High School Athletic Association, you need the points to, when it comes playoff time, when it comes to seeding and such.
Yeah, so the last few years last year we were the 1 seed. But the year before we slid to the 4 seed.
Yep.
And, it was a matter of like a half a point that did that. And so, it's the schedule is all the more important now. The old schedule 3 years ago, it was 6 wins and you're automatically in.
Right.
And that allowed teams to, focus on, you attacked it a little bit of a different way. Now it's not just it's wins; it's got to be against schools that are bigger than you, to ensure that, because with and unfortunately for us, we're the biggest school in our conference, and so with some Division 6 teams in our conference, we have to win those games in order to get the points to be in the playoffs. Because if you drop to those, there's no, that's the reason we have Coopersville on our schedule, is they're a Division 3 school, and a win there, or and they've been solid the last 5 years. Ed Kamen does a great job down there. At least you get bonus points from a bigger school. You get a higher bonus point from a bigger school. So it doesn't do us a lot of good to go find a Division 7 team that's really good.
Right.
Because you don't get the multiplier if you lose, and if you win, you're not getting as many points as you would if you beat a Division 4 team.
Right.
All right. Hey, well, where's Bobby go? We're going to take a break here, but we won't right now.
No, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's right.
When mom and dad are away, the kids play, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, who are you guys? Lost a few last year. It's quality players. Who are players this year? And there may be kids that come out of nowhere that at the end of the season you go, boy, that I wasn't expecting that. But
out of our varsity, we had a really good summer. Out of our varsity kids, we saw some real growth. I would say we always compare that first week of practice to the year before, 2 years before, and we've been really pleased with the amount of work that our players have put in this summer, because all of our base stuff is in, and I think that's the difference between varsity and JV. A lot of those incoming freshmen, they think football starts on August 11th. Right. And it's like, it does not. No. That we're going backwards if that's when we start, right? So we do all of our workouts in the summer, but our varsity group has came in, and we're 2 weeks ahead of where we were last year or the year before scheme wise. So we really get to focus on the details. We really get to get more pointed in what we're doing in practices. And so some of those kids, one that is coming back because of an injury and didn't get to play as a junior would be Lamont Belvin.
Okay,
another track kid who's
big,
got
strong
speed,
kid,
big strong kid.
Legs.
Yes, and so he would be one that we, people that follow football or listen to it, they didn't hear his name last year because he was dealing with an injury, so he didn't get to play. So he would be the new one. But we got quite a few seniors. This is our big senior class. Yep. If we're looking, Cole will be at the helm at quarterback again. So, he started 4 games as a sophomore, started all last season. He'll be back at the helm, and, he does an amazing job of our style of offense, right? Smart. Is because we call plays, and when we look at our playbook, there's only 2 plays in our entire playbook where our kids are not making a decision, where it's predetermined that this player is going to get the ball. All the other plays in our playbook, kids are making a choice on the field based off of what the defense does. That's triple option football,
right?
So Cole having his senior year, he'll be at the helm again. We got Jack Bowman, who started as a freshman as a running back. He'll be back for his 4th year. Wyatt Sierra started as a sophomore. Yeah. He'll be back for his 3rd year.
I love watching him return kickoff.
Yes,
honestly, you get him and whatever vision he has, and when he hits that, finds that gap, look, I mean,
Yep. Also back for his third year of varsity, but as a junior, is Max Bowman. And Max is getting some good college looks, and his strength is off the charts. His excuse me, he's got a motor that doesn't quit. Who else? We got, Freddie at outside backer is a returning all-conference player, and it's funny because Freddie might be the most disciplined kid we've coached. He's got
Freddie Ortiz.
Freddie Ortiz, yeah.
He was outside linebacker for us, and his mental and eye discipline is incredible. We during practice we try to run trick plays to get him out of position, and it's like I can't run him that way because Freddie's over there. And we got so many of those guys. I know we're going to leave a few of them out. We got Lazinski back at linebacker and offensive line. He might be sliding into the center position for us after losing Earl last year.
Right.
Earl did 3 years at center for us, and so Johnny will slide in there. We got Eden and Bray on the offensive and defensive lines. Those guys. Bray was a starter as a sophomore. So we got a lot of third year.
You guys got a lot of
varsity
smart
guys.
kids. A lot of kids that, with the system being what it is.
Yep, we're
really
ahead because of that. They grew up in the system. They know when we're on defense, they know all of our calls already. And on offense, we get to just add to it.
And so so when it comes to that, they're so smart. But they're not so. They don't have to overthink. I mean, they know it well enough, and they're smart enough where they can just react.
That's the big thing. That's something that we have to continue to get better at, is that it becomes second nature. When a kid, like you said, when a kid stops and thinks about what they're supposed to do, their feet aren't moving and they're not closing distance, or they're hesitant in what they do, and they get behind that way. So really trying to find that balance of giving us that diversity, but also not overwhelming them.
Right. And knock on wood here, everybody's healthy for the most part.
For the most part, it's last night was day 7, today's day 8. Those are usually 7 through 11 are the toughest days on their bodies physically. We have our scrimmage tomorrow, so tonight we'll be pretty light on them to keep their legs, and tomorrow will be kind of a chaotic day. It's the first day of school.
Oh, that's right.
It's a half a day of school. We have our team pictures, and then we have our scrimmage.
I hate team picture. I honestly, team picture day, a lot of times I wish you could just throw it out.
It doesn't matter how you do it.
It gets in the way of everything.
Yep. And so that's why we put it on that half day. It's like, we'll just get it done. It won't take away from practices. Most of our young kids, our JV scrimmage at 4. So they'll be out of school at 11:30, grab a bite to eat, go up, take pictures, grab a bite to eat, and then right into the scrimmage. Most of them don't drive anyways, so our varsity guys will get their pictures, and then they'll go home for a couple hours and come back up midway through the JV scrimmage. And
so who do you guys have? Who do you have for the scrimmage tomorrow?
We're hosting a 6-team scrimmage this year,
so
we've added a couple. We have Shepherd, North Muskegon, North Muskegon, Oak Ridge, Ludington, Spring Lake, and us.
Some good teams.
Some good teams,
right,
for sure. So you're not going to scrimmage all of them. So we set up the schedule, and so we'll scrimmage against Oak Ridge, Spring Lake, and Ludington.
And what time do you guys go?
Varsity will go about 6:30. And so we set that up so we get to see 3 different styles of offense. So Oak Ridge will have some T, Ludington will run spread option, and then Spring Lake we played 2 seasons ago in the playoffs with that big overtime game, and they run that flex bone option like you see Navy run, and it's a fast hitter, it's a downhill offense, so it'll give us a different look. Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna take a break, Bob. Wake up, Bob. Pete, why do you come to Curries?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I go to Curries to get the cheeseburger with caramelized onions and mayonnaise and ketchup. And you're not going to ask, where's the beef? It's going to be in the bun.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout or worse. Visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout or worse. Visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout or worse. Visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
And
Okay, back to Bob Aldridge. Bob doesn't say much when we talk sports. He did you play football, Bob?
I
in grade
played
school?
nothing. No, I was in the band.
You just wanted to be in. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. We had to have a band, otherwise the football team wouldn't have anything to listen to.
Oh, there was Tim Wilson was a comedian, and he was talking about Bill Clinton. He says, "Yeah, Bill Clinton, 6'5" and weighed 240, and he wasn't on the football team. He was in the damn band." It was funny.
I got a joke. I'll have to say it after the program, but it's a clean joke, but I don't know if it's quite clean enough for radio.
Well, I got a button, you know.
Well,
it's Pat.
Well, it's like, well, I can't. No, I probably shouldn't.
Okay,
Well,
ask Pat
tell you
personally.
what.
If you're thinking about it, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, right.
We did the offline after show.
Yeah, we used that one a few times. If you're not sure,
Right.
don't do it.
Right.
That's never really stopped me, though, Mike. That's the problem. But I might say it at the end of the show. That way we can leave real quick, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, we're with Mike Seltzer, the football coach from the last 10, 11 years from Big Rapids Public Schools here. Nate Fricke, his assistant since 2015. These two guys are Looking at them, they look like they're pretty young guys to me. But as you get older, you look at these guys and you think, God, you just got out of high school, you know. But Mike's been around for a while, as he said there early in the show. Of course, we got co-pilot here, Brian Miller, asking some good questions and updating us on some of the things that I don't know about. But Mike, you've got a proven record now. It's looking pretty good. Year in and year out, you've had a pretty good year, but lately you've been getting into the playoffs.
Yep.
And, I commend you for that, because I think I went to them last year, and even though everybody has to come to an end except for 2 teams, and then eventually just 1 team in each league. But whenever you attain that goal, that's got to be self-satisfaction, isn't it, Mike?
I think every team's, everybody wants to play for a state championship, but the truth is, in football, that's the hardest thing to do. Right. You're gonna take each division's. The only 32 teams make the playoffs, and then only one of 32 gets to be a state champ, And so we talked with the guys last night that, this is a group we're really looking forward to. But in Division 4, there's probably 15 other ones exactly like it in the state.
Right.
And for 14 of those 15, it's not going to end the way they want it to. And so what do we do day in and day out that sets us up to be successful at that? And that's being very intentional, that's being very tuned in, and that's making the most out of every rep. And when we're dealing with teenagers, it's hard to keep them focused, right?
Yes.
And especially in today's day and age of instant gratification, here's our long-term goal. How do we break that into smaller, obtainable chunks? And then within practice, how do we execute, and how do we set ourselves up so that this becomes the norm? And so, one of the things that I think we do a good job of is we don't run a lot of team practice. If we take an hour, like our normal 2 a day is 3 hours split by a break in the middle. So each kid gets an hour and a half of offense and an hour and a half of defense. With our position coaches, of that hour and a half, an hour and 10 to an hour and 15 minutes is just working on their skill set within their small group. We run a 15 to 20 minute of team is all we focus on. And so it's really breaking down those small things, those big skills into small things and tying them together. So, our success is we've been better as coaches at doing that. And with our programs, not just ours, but basketball, track and field, baseball, because we want multi-sport athletes. But throughout the years, they've started to really get better at that. And, I think the coaching staff does a great job of being very pointed in what we're trying to accomplish.
Well, pregame, you're the coach. Do you ever allow, like Nate, to do a pregame speech to the players?
Absolutely. I'm the head coach, so I get to field all the calls, right?
You get it all, yeah.
I get all of it.
And you get the bats, but yeah.
But these guys have autonomy. We talk, we'll meet on a Sunday, and most of our meetings are 3 to 5 hours on a Sunday, starting at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And they give up so much of their personal time to be with these kids that on Sunday we talk about what our game plan is, how we're going to accomplish it, and if Nate and I sit and talk, we close that door, and our rule is whatever's said behind these doors stays behind these doors, and we can have it out. And I trust my coaches that, hey, this is where we're at. You are the position coach. You know that set of skills better than I do. So we'll work on it, and then Nate has that autonomy to, this is what I want to do. So pregame speeches, any coach can say them at any time. We all have different roles within that, and that's the great thing about having a staff like we have, is each coach connects with a group of kids, and certain kids, like Nate connects really well with a few of the D linemen. They're not even in his position or in his position group, but personality wise, they mesh really well. Same with all of our coaches. Yeah. And so, I'm really fortunate to have such a strong staff.
But I mean, so going back, so you're hour from the game, you go out and do your warm-ups, you come back in. Does the same guy give the pep talk? same?
It all depends. It depends on what our week was like, who our opponent is, and what our theme is. You know, most of them come from me, but if a coach says I got something, I can step back and trust that they know what they're doing.
Well, like Nate, now going back to your second, third, and fourth graders, what do you say to them little fellas that sparks them like they do? Like when you had that tournament down in Morley, you played a few games that day. I don't think you got beat by anybody.
Nope.
And you came from behind against a really good team from Alma. You played some pretty good elementary schools there. And they said they were the best they had.
Yeah,
they grouped a group, and they said these are the best kids in our district, and we beat them. And they were devastated, I think, don't you?
Absolutely.
I think the coaches were stunned.
Absolutely. When you come in, you're seeing these kids that are 3'2", and you got some 5-footers on your team in third and fourth grade. That's a big difference. Right. And so a lot of times, that's the same thing we talk to the high schoolers about. Don't take your opponent for granted.
No.
It doesn't matter about the size of the person, right? We always talk. It's the old adage, right? Not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog.
Right.
And
so you showed that day.
Absolutely.
It was funny.
And for the little kids, it was just about reminding them that we're just playing basketball, guys. It doesn't matter how big they are. We worked on these skills all year. Let's go back to doing what we do. Do it the right way. It's gonna work. So settling the little guys down is huge. Because, third and fourth graders, they get really emotional.
Oh, yeah.
They get really emotional. So you can't jump on their backs and go get hard on them like you can with some of the 17 and 18-year-olds. You got to love them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Make them feel comfortable again and say, yeah, we can do this. And that's what happened. We got a good group of guys on that third and fourth grade team because of the parents, just like our high school team. We have a lot of good parents. This is a great community, and these parents are raising their kids really well. So it makes, honestly, coaching their kids pretty easy because they're good kids, right? So if you understand the level of where they are, third, fourth grade, 9th, 10th grade, college, if you understand their level in life, you're able to just hop in there and say the right things because they already have a great base already set for them.
Well, I know we're supposed to be talking about football, but we're talking about Nate Fricke. What makes you a good football coach, or Mike Seltzer? But don't you feel, though, and I guess what I'm trying to say is your shape is very important, and athletic ability is great, but your shape. You outran that team that day.
Absolutely.
And you tired them.
Absolutely.
And then when they got down, they didn't have the heart your team had, and you guys just kept drilling them. That's very important in any athletic sport, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is.
You just got to keep rolling and rolling, don't you think, Mike? I mean, that's what
I think that, the greatest measure of a person's success is, not their education level, not their intelligence. It's their ability to grind. And if you have a passion for something, you can overcome those obstacles and you can handle that adversity if you continue to grind, and that's your goal. And that's where athletics does such a great job in helping kids learn life skills. Because let's face it, we got a team of 28, and you go through all of high school, and what is it? It's a small percentage that gets to go on to play college, and then it's an even smaller percentage that gets to become a professional athlete, right? And so these are the skills that you need to have to be successful in life. Whether it's that conditioning where you can run the legs off, or whether it's that toughness to understand. We fell down. We're down by 2 scores. It's not going to happen in 2 plays. It's going to take a while to grind it back out. But to have that determination and that ability to grind is one of the greatest things we can teach a kid.
I think what Nate too. I just want to touch on those little guys. I know people out there going, Pat, get over the little guys.
Someday they're going to be big kids, though.
Don't you think this is true? It's very important at that age to learn that skill of competition.
Absolutely.
And work hard, and you can win. So when they get up to that level for Mike, you got those guys already in the mindset that, hey, we can win this. It doesn't matter how big Coopersville is. We can beat those guys. We beat them in 4th grade, 5th grade.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reality is, kids are amazing. They can adapt to any situation. That's what they're forced to do. They're children. They're always told what to do, right? They don't run the show anywhere. So they're going to learn whatever you teach them. Nothing is too complicated. Some may take a little more time to learn, right? Because of the topic or because of the style that they're learning from. But they're going to learn it if you teach it. So if you teaching the toughness, if you're teaching the conditioning, if you're teaching the love, if you're teaching those type of things, they're going to get it. Kids adapt to anything that you put them through. So we got to put them through the right things.
Yeah. Owen came home from his football practice last night. He's 8 now, 3rd grade, I think. And he's after the practice, all these ladies were picking their kids up, and they all heard him say it. And he looked at his mother and goes, I think they think I'm going in the Army. Boy, they worked me hard. How the hell is a little 8-year-old thinking I'm going in the Army? These guys worked me hard. But I don't know. I just commend both you guys for what you're doing because, Mike, I really commend you for taking on this role of Big Rapids because I think of any high school in the area that I known my whole life, the worst job a guy can have is Big Rapids Public's head coach in any sport. I mean, I love you guys for what you've done, but the critics are out there. You know that. I mean, we've seen it with the basketball program. We've seen it. Big Rapids is a tough place to coach. How do you, handle that, Mike? When you've had a few down years, I forgot those, but I'm sure you haven't. And people probably had your head at the chopping block like they did anybody else.
Yep, for sure.
But,
right. And that's coaching. There's 2 types of coaches, right? Those that are getting fired and those that are about to get fired.
Yeah.
And so how do we compartmentalize and how do we deal with that? We do what we think is right. And so I can look at myself every night in the mirror and say I'm doing what I think is right. Might not be the popular thing, but it's what I was picked to do, and that's to lead this program, lead this group of coaches, and help lead these young men. And I know that, having 2 sons in the program, there's nobody who gets it worse than my boys because they're the head coaches. They're the head coach's kids. So even if they're capable and they're out there because they're the coaches.
What grade are they in?
I have a junior and a freshman.
Oh, wow.
And our oldest son, he hasn't missed a summer or a workout since 7th grade. He's been at the high school working out with our guys, and he's a football kid. And so for us as a family, we know that we're doing what we think is right. We're not putting kids in dangerous positions. We're trying to teach life skills, and we're happy with how we're doing that. And the wins and losses, those come and go as coaches.
Right.
But I really look at our job is to help young men grow.
Well, you got it. I hate to say it, but I'll say it. You're on easy street right now because you do have a great group of assistant coaches. Everybody's buying into the program now. Years past, they didn't buy. A lot of guys dropped off and played football up until 9th grade and just said, nah, I'm all done. I don't want to.
And those are secular things that kind of come and go. But what most people don't see and don't understand is, as far as in the coaching circles, you do your best coaching on those years that you're struggling. You are grinding. You are looking for every little advantage. When you walk out with a good group of dudes, you're like, hey, we can do this with what we do, right? But when you don't have that group of dudes, you are pulling and you're grinding your butt off, and you're working so hard to try and give them that little bit of an edge. So, throughout my 30 years, my best coaching has been when we were struggling.
But like Reed City up there. My hat's off to them every year.
Yep.
They play.
Scott does a great job. His staff does a great job.
If they get beat, it's not by a lot.
Yep.
And there's so much pride in that program up there. These little kids playing right now against my grandsons there. You can just see, like Chuck Rogers is a great coach. He's directing that youth program up there. So they have that commitment up there. I see that in Big Rapids now with people like Brian Miller over here and his people that helping him. And I don't remember them all, their names, and I'm not going to mention them all. But you have that foundation now. So my hat's off for you
I appreciate
on that one too, because you had to sell this program. These guys look at it. It's going to start down here like Nate Fricky with those kids. I'm telling you, I know I keep on bragging you up, Nate, but I am looking really forward to that team that he has, those 10 kids, when they get to high school. And I'm telling you, if I'm alive, I'm going to make sure somehow that Nate Fricky coaches those kids, at least be that assistant coach to those kids. They look up to him, and I tell you, all you see is W in their eyes.
Yep.
I've never seen a kid come off the court at that level, especially. A lot of kids cry when they miss a shot or whatever. Hell, those kids missed a shot. They'd go fight for the ball back, and next thing you know, the whistle's being blown because somebody fouled somebody. They're tough. But I'm just telling you, I'm very fortunate to live in Big Rapids.
Yep.
And you guys make me very proud to know both of you guys. And what you're doing with our youth, I think years down the road, my grandkids are going to come back and thank old Nate Fricky.
For sure.
Because they wouldn't be the lawyer that they're in, or maybe they'll be a doctor, or maybe own a gas station, whatever they do.
Right.
But you're teaching those kids discipline and how to commit themselves as a team. And you're doing that at the high school level. I talk to your football players that come in the station.
Yep.
Philip Wilbur.
Yep.
One of the nicest young people, like
Yep.
you say. But you guys, and his parents did a big part of that job. But you can see Philip Wilbur that he's going to be successful in life.
Yep.
Because he knows he can do it.
Yep.
And you guys have done that to your football team. You know you can do it. You know, just a few years ago, at the season's end, you'd have a decent record, but you might not have made the playoff. But boy, when you make that playoff, those kids realize that, hey, we can do this, and next year we're going to do better. So I'm looking forward to this next year with the Bowmans that you have there, and the Heist kid there, and
we got some good kids. So,
Absolutely.
and that makes coaching fun.
Yeah, come from good families.
Yep.
Just like Nate over there. I mean, I commend both you guys for being great parents, and Brian over here. You know, his boys Cameron and Cooper. I've watched them grow up, and they went through St. Mary's, and Cooper. I mean, the guys in the mayor's table look forward to him coming in the morning for his breakfast or whatever, and they love the spirit that kid's got, and that comes from home. You know, I mean, if you guys don't know it, but you are building the future of America, and I really appreciate all three of you. I really do. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock, Brian. Any more questions? I know Jen wouldn't care if we went on. You guys probably got to get back to school, huh?
No school today. It's our last day.
Right.
Last day of summer.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
So how are your shoulders? From cornhole yesterday.
Well,
I heard there was a lot of it.
I did not win, and I'm not very good at cornhole.
Okay.
So, and Nate was at
My understanding is that.
Yeah,
there was a lot of it.
there was a lot. It was a
did
good
win?
competition. Kendra. Kendra Klein.
Oh, because I heard she's pretty good. Her and TJ.
Luckily,
both.
I didn't have to face her.
Right.
I think you had to win to move on, and
That didn't
I wasn't winning much. So
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. I mean, I talk too much, don't I, Bob? But it comes from my heart. I want you guys to know that, and I really appreciate it. I wish you luck.
That's why I don't say a word. I just let you.
I know.
It's like,
What's your favorite
turn Pat
song?
on, let him go.
Mike,
my
your
favorite song, man, I don't know.
I'll give you a second. Think about it. Nate. What's yours?
That's a good question too.
I would think of "We Are the Champions."
I am not a big Queen fan.
No?
Anything from the Stones or John Cougar Mellencamp or
There you go, Bob.
hometown John Cougar Mellencamp would be a good one for me. I like that, and I think it brings it back to a town our size.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, sounds great. Any prediction this year?
We're going to put our best product out there.
There you go.
We're going to work
That's a
really hard
prediction.
all season long, and we're going to work to get better week after week.
They, last year you had the Foster boy there, Garrett.
Yep, Garrett.
Outstanding athlete, outstanding young man.
Absolutely.
Who's filling his position this year?
Jack will get more touches at that 2 spot. Last year with how we were more of a heavy run set with a 2 running back style. This year we're going to have double slots more and just a single back set. We'll have some power run stuff, but you won't see 2 backs in the backfield as much.
I know I was going to ask you before we go to is your line.
Yep.
Historically, Big Rapids is kind of light. You go up to Reed City and watch their line. Holy good God, man, they're huge. Last year, Reed City was huge, and I went to that game. You guys were like this, and these guys were like this, but you powered them. You guys did a great job. You were very quick off the line.
Yeah.
Do you have a bigger line this year?
Nope.
All
That's one thing I don't know if we'll ever be able to say.
We got a little bit more coming up.
I'm hoping.
Who are your linemen this year? Let's just go through.
Right now, as it's slotted, we got DeBruni out at left tackle. We got Braylon Counselor at a guard, Johnny at center, Eden Welch at the other guard, and Luke Griffiths at a tackle. Now, another one is Austin Brandt has been working his butt off.
He's tough.
And he'll be on the field a lot, and he'll give us that ability to rotate 3 guards as well as linebackers.
He's strong, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's got a set of legs on him like
he does. He's got tree
what
trunks.
grade is he in now?
He's going to be a junior also, and he's up to 190 pounds.
Oh,
and,
shoot.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he's been just chewing up the weights, and it's been his goal to gain that weight, and now he's got that mass behind him because he's got an incredible motor.
Yeah.
So
Great kid.
Yep, and so we'll have 6, maybe 7 linemen that we can rotate on a regular basis, because with our numbers, we're going to have to keep guys fresh. And so, that's kind of the art of coaching is how do you get the kids in the right spot to get through a full season, right? Because that's going to be a lot of games and a lot of wear and tear on bodies, and we don't want to abuse that in the first third of the season.
I know there's a lot of pressure on people. We got to get going, but I understand real quick the Brandt.
Baby.
Alex, baby.
Yeah.
Huh?
Alexander,
Baby's his
baby.
nickname. Yep.
Baby, outstanding quarterback. They say he could start for you.
If Cole wasn't there, he probably could.
They said he can throw a ball further than anybody out there.
He's got a good arm on him. He's got some good
So
legs.
you got some promise for quarterback there.
And energy.
Yes, and he's a heck of a runner. And one more year with a lot of reps.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that helm could go to him pretty easily.
Well,
Yep.
God bless America.
Yep, he's only a sophomore.
God bless America, Bobby. We're going to play who?
Small town.
That's it. I love that song. Thanks again, Mike.
Yeah,
really
appreciate
appreciate
it, guys.
everything you do for the community. Nate,
Thanks,
I
guys.
love you.
Appreciate you.
Keep on doing what you guys are doing. America's going to be okay. God bless
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. We're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.